Hi, my name is Steve Kilburn. I am the Grant Projects Director at the Chautauqua County Department of Mental Hygiene. And I oversee the Chautauqua Substance Abuse Response Partnership, a collaborative effort of agencies from across our county coming together to work together to address addiction here in our county. Well, we have been featuring the work of our partner agencies during this series of videos that we have called Let's Heal Together: Conversations to Combat Addiction. And today we return to part 2 of my conversation with Trish Whetstone from Prevention Works. Trish oversees the Teen Intervene program. This is a very important and exciting work happening in our county. And I'm particularly excited about this conversation because the Teen Intervene program is supported in part by a federal grant that was awarded to the Chautauqua County Department of Mental Hygiene. When we ended part 1 of my conversation, I had asked Trish if she had seen the Teen Intervene program make a difference in the lives of young people and their families. Let's turn now to part 2 of my conversation with Trish Whetstone. You mentioned earlier, Trish, that Teen Intervene is an evidence-based program. That means it's been studied. It's not just sort of, hoping, let's see what happens, but
Right, exactly.
Controlled studies. I wonder if you could talk a little bit, and of course, I know you couldn't give specifics, but, have you seen it work? I guess let's just call it that way. Have you seen that intervention really in specific, young people and their families make a difference?
Absolutely. So the interesting field about prevention, I always say it's really strong people working in prevention because we don't always see immediate results. We don't, really we're hoping that 20 years down the line, we're going to prevent substance use for kids, and we don't always I haven't been in the field long enough for that to happen. However, there are some immediate successes. I'll share one success. I had a student who grew up in substance use and was using and was caught at the school. And we worked together for quite some time, actually. And the following year, he was elected as a class official. And he kind of has become an advocate against vaping. So that is an amazing success. I won't say that happens with every client, but I am excited to share that.
It really represents the fact that, again, this isn't just like, oh, let's put a guilt trip on this person, but kids leave with something really valuable. And it does indeed make a difference.
If we have kids, at least in this really important time in their development, when their brain is still developing in their teen years, to at least halt or maybe wait to drink or stop vaping at this moment in time, it's going to be beneficial. And we hope that they bring the skills with them, and it is a long-term success as well.
We all don't know about school here coming up in the fall. That's yet an open question. But that aside, you guys are still offering this, aren't you?
We are still offering this. Steve, you have all the right questions. I'm so glad you're bringing this up. We are offering this service via telehealth, so via Zoom video chat. Essentially, we have the meetings just like normal, a conversation like you and I are having right now, and it has still been a success. And that is essentially our plan, is to continue to offer this throughout this time of uncertainty. Eventually, hopefully, we could get into a in-person one-on-one sit down, but we are offering it via telehealth virtual session.
It just strikes me as like, this is a remarkable service insofar as, like, I wouldn't have to leave home.
Right.
That coming in and having a conversation in person, wouldn't be preferable, but under the conditions, like, to be able to have these discussions like this without even having to leave home, wow, that's a remarkable service.
I agree. I appreciate that, and I think that it's about meeting people where they're at.
Yep.
Just to kind of go off what you just said, Steve, is sometimes people are a little bit more comfortable to be open when they're in their familiar space, rather than we're in a little side office at the school and you've never been here. You're in our office and you've never been here before. We try and make those spaces welcoming, but sometimes being in your own environment can cause someone to feel even more comfortable. So I think it is a success in that sense.
Absolutely. So again, I'd like to put myself, as sort of, representing somebody who's, wow, this is a great service. It seems like it might be really a good fit for kind of where our family is and where our teen is right now, but I don't think I could afford it. What do you need to tell me as a parent that about cost for this service?
Yes. So lucky you, parent. Cost for a self-referral from a family is free. So if a child, an individual themselves, or a family is referring someone, we always offer that service for free. With regards to the partnerships in the school districts we have, sometimes there's a fee involved. And if it is a court-ordered referral, there is a fee involved. But what I'll say is that it's extremely affordable. There's a Benjamin Franklin quote that goes, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." So even when we're talking about other schools or agencies investing in our services, it's a small investment now, like you said, with a big payoff later, the cost of medical bills and you name it, loss of productivity, whatever it is, later down the line, if there is a treatment needed. We know those services can be expensive, unfortunately. So we do see it as a worthwhile investment.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, this has been a terrific conversation, Trish, but I don't want to wrap up until I give you an opportunity. Maybe there's some element of the Teen Intervene program or the information and referral services or otherwise that Prevention Works that you'd want to make sure that you've mentioned today.
Absolutely. What I would love to say about Teen Intervene and our information and referral, we kind of call those in general our intervention services. It's the individual, private, one-on-one sessions. We've really expanded to work with more than just substance use. So for example, we've gotten plenty of referrals and we invite referrals when it comes to a child maybe being bullied or really having a tough time coping with family, with what's happening in the world right now. If it comes to just someone who's maybe lacking some social skills, we absolutely do provide that through our INR information and referral services. And we take the necessary components from Teen Intervene, setting goals, managing our emotions, identifying our supports, putting this kind of action plan in place, but we really customize it for whatever the child's need is, because we know if we can prevent issues with bullying and social skills now, it'll still prevent substance use down the line. It'll still prevent other risky behaviors. It'll build those important life skills. So please feel free of any of those topics. Being assertive, having better communication skills are something that you see a young person needing, please let us know and we can absolutely provide this service, and then make a necessary referral. If we find it's something we can kind of briefly intervene and then maybe hook the child up with a caseworker or a social worker that could help them out better. We like to think we're kind of a great one-stop shop. Let's start with the brief prevention that we can provide and then help you find that resource in the community through the partnerships that we have that will be even more beneficial to your family or your child.
Yeah, thank you, for saying that, because I really do think that can be an just invaluable resource for, a family that's like, our child is struggling with whatever the issue could be. And you pointed out, not necessarily substance use right now. And we don't even know what to do. We don't even know where to go. We don't, we don't know if they need some sort of brief encouragement and support, or they might need something more. One of the other elements that I guess it's another barrier that is way too prevalent in regards to getting help for substance use or mental health or a lot of other things. There are resources out there, but it's like a swamp to try to figure out, where do I go? How do I even get started?
Right.
And when you're already stressed, that just becomes compounded. But to hear you say that Prevention Works could really be a great first step, maybe the only step, but if not, a great source of information and referral as needed. We have what we call the Chautauqua Substance Abuse Response Partnership. And as I often say, this is prevention, treatment, recovery, and harm reduction agencies all working together.
Yep.
And so if you can get tapped into, connected with, one of them, they know each other. We know each other.
Right.
We
Right.
make those referrals, help you find the place that's going to get you the help that's
Right.
most needed.
Right.
Well, again, this is a terrific conversation, Trish. Such good and positive information for folks.
Thank you so much for having me and giving this opportunity and this space to speak about this. Just want to say thank you again, Steve, for this opportunity.
Well, a big thank you to Trish and to all of her colleagues there at Prevention Works for the great work that they do in our county. We will leave contact information for Prevention Works, along with further information about the Teen Intervene program in the notes accompanying this video. And can I say that if you, or perhaps someone you know, could benefit from this program, I would urge you to reach out and contact Prevention Works. I want to thank you for viewing this latest installment of Let's Heal Together, Conversations to Combat Addiction. Stay well, everyone.